How many times have you turned around on the street to look again at a woman who just passed by, or without realizing it, ended up noticing her figure when you saw her in light summer clothing? Many of us do this instinctively, but it's important to reflect on the consequences of this behavior. At first glance, it might not seem like a big deal, but we need to talk about what usually happens after those moments. Who hasn't gone home and ended up accessing pornographic websites because of this desire? In this video, we will explore why men tend to focus on women's bodies and why it's crucial to avoid giving too much attention to external beauty. Don't worry about watching the podcast with full concentration. You can listen to it as if it were a radio program while doing your tasks. This talk is designed so that you can absorb the information while traveling, driving, or preparing dinner. Let's begin. When scrolling through social media, it's easy to stop at photos of attractive people. Reflect on why you feel the need to do this. What are you seeking in those moments? At the gym or while watching a game, it's easy to get distracted by physically attractive people, but instead, focus on your workout or enjoying the game. This will remind you that the main goal is to take care of your own health and well-being. Don't judge others. When you see someone attractive on the subway or on the street, remember that each person has a complex and multifaceted life. Being aware of this can help you reduce the attention we give to appearances and increase respect for personal space and the dignity of each individual. The illusion of appearance is a common phenomenon in our society, where many aspects of culture excessively value physical attraction. However, as the Stoics emphasize, a person's true value lies beyond what appearance can show. What is attractive to one person may go unnoticed by another, indicating that external attributes are not an absolute source of value. A person's appearance changes over time. Youth fades, and physical attributes alter. Relying on such an unstable foundation to value someone is like building a house on sand. Focusing too much on appearance can distract us from understanding and appreciating a person's underlying qualities, such as intelligence, sense of humor, moral principles, and capacity for empathy. These qualities are much more important for lasting and meaningful relationships. Often people use their appearance to create a desired impression, which can mask their true intentions or character traits. This can lead to disappointments and incorrect judgments. The Stoics teach that it's important to judge people by their actions and decisions, not by their appearance. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoics, said that a person's external conditions do not reflect their inner being, and insisted that virtue is the only criterion of human value. Stoicism helps us develop resistance to superficial perception and improve our ability to see beyond external attributes. The Stoics recommend practicing self-reflection and mindfulness by asking ourselves questions about the reasons for our attraction and what qualities are truly important in a person. As Epictetus, another great Stoic, said, "All that is external is impermanent and fleeting." Basing your attitude towards a person solely on their appearance is building on fragile foundations. The Stoics strive to control their passions and desires in search of mental peace. Constant admiration for appearances can lead to unhealthy attachment, envy, and even jealousy, which interfere with inner peace. Instead of focusing on perfect appearance, Stoicism advocates for introspection and personal improvement. Taking care of the inner world and developing spiritual and intellectual qualities is much more beneficial. When we judge someone by their appearance, we may be ignoring their true qualities and values. Relationships based on external admiration are rarely strong and lasting. The Stoics teach us to look to the future and build our relationships on deeper and more meaningful foundations. Another important point is the availability of pornographic material in today's world. Pornography has become easily accessible, raising serious concerns about its impact on the perception of sexuality and interpersonal relationships. Constant consumption of pornography can distort the perception of normal sexual relationships, creating unrealistic expectations that are often impossible to reproduce in real life. This can lead to disproportionate expectations of a partner, ignoring their emotional and psychological well-being. Regular viewing of pornography can cause normal sexual stimuli to lose their interest or excitement. This phenomenon, known as desensitization, leads to the search for increasingly extreme or specific content to achieve sexual gratification. This constant search for hypersexualized or pornographic images can cause real social dysfunctions, leading people to interpret innocent gestures or mundane interactions as sexual signals, resulting in misunderstandings and, in some cases, social isolation. Over time, this influence can worsen, causing the person to feel disappointed or even resentful if their inflated and unrealistic expectations are not met in real relationships. Daily activities, and a loss of interest in developing deep and meaningful emotional connections. This behavior can damage interpersonal relationships, as those around the person may feel uncomfortable or even threatened by a constantly sexualized attitude. Additionally, prolonged immersion in pornography can lead to dependence, similar to other forms of addiction, where the need for a dose increases and the pleasure of living without these stimuli decreases. This can result in a general decline in quality of life, less motivation to engage in. Stoicism reminds us that true mental peace and happiness are found in harmony with ourselves and the world, not in the superficial admiration of beauty. Appearances can attract attention, but only depth and true understanding can create the foundations for meaningful and lasting relationships. Now, I want to share with you an affirmation that you can use daily to change your focus when sexual excitement arises. I choose to respect and appreciate the depth and dignity of each person. I focus on developing my inner world and strengthening true and meaningful connections. This affirmation reminds us of the importance of a person's internal qualities and helps us redirect our attention from the external to the internal, promoting a healthier attitude towards sexuality and interpersonal relationships. I leave this affirmation pinned in the comments so you can return to this video periodically and reinforce your mindfulness practice. This reminder of the importance of seeking people's internal qualities and not just their external beauty is a fundamental principle of Stoicism. Understanding that each person has a unique essence and value that is not always visible at first glance can lead to a deeper respect for the individual and their needs. Instead of seeking fleeting pleasure in beauty, Stoicism teaches us to appreciate enduring and authentic human qualities, realizing that the constant quest for external admiration can cause unrest and inner imbalance, leads us to understand the need to control our own desires and passions. By cultivating inner strength and self-discipline, we can avoid being enslaved by desires that constantly change and do not bring true happiness. Moreover, distancing ourselves from the vices of pornography and sexualized perceptions can promote healthier and more respectful relationships with ourselves and others. A realistic and healthy perception of sexuality helps build relationships based on mutual understanding, respect, and deep emotional connection. One of the problems with focusing on physical attraction is that it can eclipse internal values. When our eyes are fixed solely on the superficial, we can lose the depth and richness of the human experience that each individual offers. Personality traits, such as honesty, reliability, generosity, and empathy often go unnoticed, despite being key to maintaining strong and healthy relationships. Stoicism not only warns us against excessive emphasis on external beauty, but also offers tools to develop resilience and the ability to see beyond superficial shine. This leads to a more meaningful and satisfying life, in which internal qualities are valued above fleeting pleasures. Focusing excessively on physical attraction not only affects how we perceive others, but can also severely damage our self-esteem. In a culture that places so much emphasis on appearance, it's easy to start judging our own worth based on how well we meet certain beauty standards. This can lead to self-discontent, low self-esteem, and even the development of psychological problems such as depression or anxiety. Among men, there is the perception that it's natural to notice other women, but the truth is that giving too much attention to others' appearance can cause serious problems in personal and romantic relationships. Although brief admiration of beauty may seem harmless, repetitive behavior can create distance and distrust in the relationship. When someone in the relationship frequently pays attention to other people, their partner may feel insecure and doubt the sincerity of their feelings. This is especially true if this behavior becomes a source of arguments or resentment. Even without physical infidelity, emotional infidelity can be perceived as a betrayal. Constant attention to other women can negatively affect the partner's self-esteem, especially if they begin to compare themselves to the admired individuals. This can lead to feelings of inadequacy and the sense of not meeting perceived beauty standards, which is particularly destructive to a person's well-being. When perceptions of appearance are based on continuous comparison with unrealistic standards, often supported by pornography or media images, this can contribute to creating unhealthy expectations in relationships. Men may begin to expect their real-life partners to match these images, which is often unrealistic and unfair. The constant focus on other women can reduce the depth and importance of the emotional connection with the partner. Instead of investing in strengthening the bond, this behavior can divert significant emotional resources outward, reducing mutual understanding and support in the relationship. Stoicism teaches us that it is important to develop internal qualities and virtues such as self-discipline, honesty, and responsibility. Learning to manage our own thoughts and desires contributes to a more meaningful and happy life. Understanding and managing attraction to external beauty requires awareness and self-control. It is important to remember that a person's true attraction and value do not lie in their appearance, but in their ability to be a reliable, attentive, and faithful partner. The first step is to learn to stop looking at other women and imagining intimate relationships with them. This is a process that requires self-discipline and inner work. Here are some strategies that can help you achieve this. 1. Awareness. Start by noticing your actions the moment you begin to look at someone. When you consciously notice it, look away or change your focus. 2. Change your thinking. When you catch yourself thinking intimately about someone else, actively replace those thoughts with healthier alternatives. For example, remind yourself of your partner's qualities and virtues, or the importance of respecting another person's personality and boundaries. 3. Self-reflection. Try to understand why you feel this need. It can often be due to a lack of satisfaction in your current relationship or the absence of an emotional connection. Working with a therapist can help you get to the root of the problem. 4. Develop respect. Learn to see people not only for how they appear, but also for their inner world, achievements, character, and kindness. This helps develop a healthier attitude towards people in general. 5. Strengthen your relationships. Focus on improving your current relationships. The more satisfying and deep they are, the less you will seek satisfaction in external stimuli. 6. Avoid triggers. If you notice that certain situations, like watching movies, going to certain places, or even being active on social media, trigger you, try to limit or change those situations. In this video, I talked about the classic ideas of Stoicism found in the writings of philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. Their works, including Meditations, Epictetus's teachings, and letters to Lucilius, had a significant influence on the content of this video. These books contain profound reflections on self-control, the importance of inner strength, and focusing on what truly matters in life. This is a good place. 7. Change your habits. Look for healthy alternatives that help you channel your attention and energy into something productive, such as hobbies, sports, studies, or volunteering. Remember that changing these habits takes time and effort, and is not always easy. Be patient and consistent in your efforts, and you will see improvements over time. Discuss attitudes toward external beauty and sexual attraction. If you want to subscribe to the channel for more reflections that can transform your life, your support is fundamental so that we can continue to create deep and impactful discussions. Like, comment, and share this video with those you believe can benefit from this message. Let's build a community that values growth and true connection together. See you in the next video.